So welcome everybody. Wonderful to see you all here still. We're just over halfway through the month, and yeah, I feel just very happy to be doing this with you all. Really enjoying it. So this morning I'm going to say a few things. So yeah, this is the third of a series of 4. And what I've said is that I talked a little bit about the difference between samatha practices that are aimed more at calming and having a sort of pleasant, easeful, joyous experience. So within Triratna, we teach the mindfulness of breathing and the metta bhavana predominantly as samatha practices. And both of these have slightly different elements of samatha. One is designed to train us to have that ability to stay with something by keep returning to it, returning to the breath. And then with the metta bhavana, the systematic cultivation of loving kindness, we are developing states to increase our sense of ease, enjoyment, bliss, and a sense of well-wishing for ourselves and others. Metta bhavana cultivates our ability to relate to whatever is arising in our experience with loving kindness, whether it's pleasant, whether it's unpleasant or neutral. We can train ourselves to keep responding with a loving awareness. And there's a sense of when these two abilities gradually feel that they're established enough and they're strong enough in us, we can start looking more deeply into our experience. So, and we move into insight practices, of which the 6 elements is one. And insight practices are designed to interrupt our habitual way of relating to ourselves and to the world. So just by that, it can kind of be a little, well, they're kind of aimed at being destabilizing. We want, in a way, to destabilize the kind of inherited habitual pattern of being human, of responding to things with aversion, craving, or delusion. But in this process, what can happen, doesn't always happen, but it can happen that fear can arise a little bit. And if it does, then there's 2 ways of approaching it. One is that we can just bring ourselves back to a more samatha approach. We can bring ourselves back to the constant companion of our breath and our body, and really just kind of keep immersing ourselves and grounding ourselves there. And also another way is to bring a loving kindness towards the fear, sort of surround the fear with a sense of recognition and kindness. But that kind of depends upon the day, how you're feeling, what's going on for you in your life, as to how much those abilities will be present for you. So yesterday in our meditation, we sort of were cultivating more a sense of a kind of unity, recognition of our unity with life, our sameness. And I don't know about you, but at the end of it, I felt a kind of balmy, rosy, enjoyable feeling. It was a kind of a blissy kind of feeling. So when we do practices that are slightly more Vipassana based, it's not the intention to end the meditation feeling like that. And even during the meditation, you might feel a bit a bit, not quite at ease in a way. It's just important to remember that that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you or anything wrong with the meditation, but that's just when we're looking more deeply, it can be a little bit unsettling. And if you feel that it's not what you need this morning, then you can always put me on mute or just tune me out and jump back into a practice of connecting with your breath or anything that you need. So just taking responsibility for yourself and your practice in this. So we're not doing full-blown insight practice, but we are edging towards that. So we will start with the water blessing. And we will end with the poem. Air element blessing. We immerse ourselves in the air element, allowing its lightness and strength to clear all stagnation and density. We open ourselves to the air element and take in the expansive, spontaneous openness of its nature. We are at home in the air element, suffused in confidence and equanimity, resisting nothing, fearing nothing. I dwell with the air element and the dark green Buddha Amoghasiddhi, embodying active compassion and the dynamic stillness of complete freedom. Morning Puja. This human birth is precious, an opportunity to awaken. But this body is impermanent. Ready or not, one day I shall die. So this life I must know as the tiny splash of a raindrop, a thing of beauty that disappears even as it comes into being. The karma I create shapes the course of my life. But however I act, life always has difficulties. No one can control it all. Only the Dharma can free me and others from suffering forever. Therefore, I recall my heart's longing for freedom and resolve to make use of every day and night to realize it. The full Brahma Viharas. May all beings enjoy happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the great happiness, devoid of suffering. May they dwell in the great equanimity, free from craving, aversion, and delusion. So having the sense of arriving in our posture, with our intention to meditate for the next half an hour. Just having a recognition that we are alive, we are here. Knowing our aliveness. And knowing that we've turned up with another 85 beings this morning who all want what we want. Who all want to be free from this habitual response to experience. We have a sense of our connection with these beings, joined by our intention, our sense of community, sense of wanting the best for each other. Sense of social solidarity. Not only do we have beings to practice with, there's also a lineage of beings that have made it their business to make teachings that lessen suffering available to us and other beings. We can bring to mind anyone we feel grateful to. It gives us a sense of confidence when we think of them. Teachers that go back to the Buddha beyond. And with a sense of connection to those around us and to our friends and teachers, we can move into our bodies, spending time with the soles of our feet and our feet and ankles. And just moving through our body, encouraging it to soften, to release, to relax. Bringing our loving awareness to our thighs and hips. And having a sense of dropping down through our sitting bones into the earth. And a sense of rising up through our spine towards the heavens, the infinite blue sky. Looking for softness in the belly and the solar plexus. Feeling into the length of our back, and shoulders. Our rib cage and our neck. Encouraging ease, space, allowing the face to be soft, scalp to be soft, the eyeballs, to release. We can become aware of our heart space. And the flavors of emotion we may find there this morning. We are human beings, subject to a full range of emotions. We have a sense of allowing whatever's there to be there. And now bringing our awareness to our thought world. Just noticing the quality and strands of thought arising this morning. Just having a sense of our breathing. The movement of the in-breath and the out-breath. Knowing the in-breath, knowing the out-breath, and the gap in between the in-breath and the out-breath. This movement we can feel the ripples of throughout our body. We could see it as a loving and constant companion, bringing us life, taking away what's not needed. Always available. with a sense of loving awareness. A reminder of our connection with all life. We can be aware of the air outside of our bodies. Maybe we can feel the contact of the air with our skin. Our face, our hands, our ears. There is air all around us. And then there is air within us as we breathe in. And the oxygen carried in to the body is there even when we breathe out. But there's air around us and air within us. Is the air in our bodies ours? Is it your breath that you're breathing? Are we simply borrowing the air and returning the air? It's like you might borrow a book from a library and then you return it back. There's nothing to hold on to or hang on to. It's this movement of life. Borrowing and the returning with gratitude. And we can reflect, this air element is not mine. I am not this. This is not myself. So now we're going to turn to thought as the object of reflection. So our thinking and thought, the similar quality to the air element of ungraspability. It's ungraspable, but thoughts think themselves superior to other aspects of experience. Or if we look in our thought world, we'll simply find words and pictures. And just see if you can just allow yourself to observe thoughts and pictures arising in awareness. There's that little continual inner dialogue that's saying, what do you mean? What's this about? Why are you putting the spotlight on me? Sometimes when we put the spotlight on them, they disappear altogether for a while. And they soon creep back. And we can notice that when we have our eyes open, we see pictures and we can see words writing around us. The pictures and words in what we think of as outside. Pictures and words in what we think of as inside. Just trying to be aware of how they appear and disappear. Simply doing this can be a little unsettling. If that's your experience, just return to the breath and the body. Thoughts appearing and disappearing. Can you predict your next thought? In what sense are these thoughts, these pictures and words, in what sense are they yours? A constant stream of commentary, the judgments, the opinions, the likes, the dislikes, all occurring in our thought world. And will these thoughts do your bidding? Or do they have a life of their own? Perhaps they are just borrowed from a sea of words, arriving and disappearing. Can we become aware enough to notice their effect? Do these arriving words create ease in this body? Or do they create tension? Do they encourage compassionate action? Or do they encourage a sense of being separate and walled off, protected? And can we reflect these words, these pictures, they are not me. They are not mine. I am not them. Who would we be without these thoughts? With being and thinking, can we get them more in balance? Can they be useful but not central, not dominating our experience? Held a bit more loosely. Not fixed in beliefs and opinions. Allowing more spaciousness and openness. And any glimmer of freedom. Allowing something fresh, spontaneous, curious. And as we finish up the meditation, just returning to what we can feel in the body. Breathing with any tension that may have arisen from this reflection. Feeling the sense of solidity of the earth beneath us. The fluidity in our limbs. And any sense of warmth, any warm patches. our felt experience. And releasing any effort, anything that we're supposed to be doing. Just noticing how you feel. I'll read the same David White poem again. We love the moment in seeming stillness, the breath in the body of the loved one sleeping, the highest leaves in the silent wood, a great migration in the sky above, the waters of the earth, the blood in the body, the first soft stir in the silence beneath a strident voice, the internal hands of our mind always searching for touch, thoughts seeking other thoughts, seeking other minds, and the great arrival of form through all our hidden themes. And this breath in this body, able just for a moment to give and to take, to ask and to be told, to find and be found, to borrow and return, to bless and be blessed, to hold and be held. We are all a sunlit moment, come from a long darkness. What moves us always comes from what is hidden. What seems to be said so suddenly has lived in the body for a long time. Our life, like a breath then, a give and a take, a bridge, a central movement between singing a separate self and learning to be selfless.